on the morning shift.
Anything
could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us this morning on this Monday, July the 10th, 2023. Time is flying. The summer is just passing us by very quickly. Anyways, it just seems like that. Seems like time goes quicker these days. Thanks for being with us. We're on CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio, cklu.ca, streaming online. We're also live streaming at facebook.com/Sudbury News, youtube.com/Sudbury News. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow all the social medias. But the one great thing about the show, and the reason for the show, is basically to have a conversation about events and issues surrounding Greater Sudbury, and that's why we're here. So make sure to comment. We'll do our best to get the comments read for the radio, for people listening or streaming, and then also get them up on the screen for those that are watching, and we could basically have a better discussion. So make sure to share this if you feel you have those in your networks that you feel would want to participate in the conversation as well. That's why we're here. We share our views on the news, so to speak, sometimes just keeping it local and sometimes expanding it more abroad. And today, there's a lot of local news. There's no doubt about it. I've shared some more national, international material on the Facebook feed, and you can check those things out after the show or whenever. And we more than likely won't have much time to get into deeper things today, but you never know. It's up to you. You guys basically control a lot of the conversation by comments and things like that. And so that's the great thing. I try to do my best to facilitate the conversation, moderate it when needed. But that's the way it goes. So good morning, Monique. Speaking of people joining us and commenting, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us. Hope you're having a great Monday, as well as yourself, Judy. Thanks for being with us today. Belinda, good morning. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. Ooh, now that one's got a bit of bite to it. I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. I think a lot of people would agree with you on that one. Good morning, Vin. Thanks for being with us this morning. As well as David. Stay safe. Thanks for being with us, my friend. And Mona, good morning. A lot of you jumping on and commenting already. So really appreciate the quick amount of people. It's actually more people than usual this fast. So we're going to have a great show today. Let's just kick it off. Checking out how our weather is shaping up for the next few days and today. And we'll be back with news headlines, your comments, and much, much more. Lots to cover. All the news that happened on the weekend, basically. And we'll have a great conversation. So join us. Stay with us and join us after the weather for a great conversation today. We'll be right back. Your Sudbury weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. Currently, it is 12 degrees. It's partly cloudy, and we can expect mainly sunny skies today. A little bit of wind, high of 28. Humidex, 32. So it'll be a warm one today. Clear overnight as well, low of 16. Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud. 30% chance of showers late in the afternoon with a risk of thunderstorm. High 24, and the UV index is 7 or high. Tuesday, again, chance of showers, high of 24. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all a mix of sun and cloud in the forecast. Wednesday, 24, Thursday, 26, Friday, 27, and then Saturday and Sunday, 24 and 26, respectively. So there you have it. Looking like a pretty darn great week after the possibility of showers and thunder showers tomorrow. Looking like a pretty darn great week after that. Look at your satellite. Pretty clear over Sudbury. And there you have the possibility of some rain and precipitation activity coming in from the west, pretty much right in the middle of Lake Superior. Wawa looks like it's right over Wawa as we speak, making its way towards us. So yeah, we might get some of that tomorrow. But other than that, that's your weather. Brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with news headlines, your comments, and more right after this. Okay, and we are back. And a few of you have been chiming in while we were doing the weather, so want to get to that. Good morning from Espanola. Sharing is caring, that's for sure. Thank you, Denise, for being with us. Here's the other Dave. We have David and Dave, so we also have a few other people with the same names on here as well. So we're going to have 20 minutes of bias video again today. No, as I mentioned, if you were on earlier, we probably just got the local stuff today, but there are some bias videos I've shared if you wanted to watch, if you're so inclined, on my Facebook feed. Basically, if you mean bias, people trying to hold the Prime Minister accountable, then they're very biased videos. Not just going along and taking whatever they're doing without any accountability and just taking what they say and listening to state-run media, then definitely those are biased, very biased videos. So real media is very biased these days, trying to ask questions about what the heck is going on, for sure. Belinda, if you need some hilarity in your day, go watch Justin Trudeau trying to flip pancakes at the Calgary Stampede. Yeah, he had a hard time with a couple of them, I noticed. I guess he didn't take the course or something. And good morning, Maurice. Thanks for being with us as well as Diane. Thanks for being with us. If you feel Justin Trudeau is doing a great job in our country these days, just want to start off with this because you have Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre both at the Calgary Stampede and both kind of speaking to the media. If you think Justin Trudeau is doing a great job and you feel that your country is in a better state than it was before Justin Trudeau was at the helm, we'd like to hear from you and why you think our country is better off with Justin Trudeau. Like what things have gotten better since he has taken over as Prime Minister. We definitely want to hear from you because it's definitely, from things that I'm hearing and seeing, there's very few people who are able to say specific things that he's doing a great job with. So I want to hear these things because I'm not being able to find them myself. So we're going to try and find these things that he's been doing, because certain people definitely he won the last election, at least with a minority government, and then was able to undemocratically gain a majority by hooking up with a other party that no one voted for and created a majority. Danica, good morning. So Denise says, yes. What good has he done? That is from the heart. For real. What? Yeah. So again, I don't know. There's lots of people who love Justin Trudeau. Do they love him because they're just liberal? Their parents were liberal. They grew up liberal. They're going to vote liberal no matter what. Anything you say, it's against it. It doesn't seem right to them. I just really want to know what good things has Justin Trudeau done, and I honestly do want to know. So if you have any of those, it looks like we might have some people that have some really good things that he's done. If Dave really wants to blow his mind, he should research Trudeau's connection with the Picton pig farm. Interesting. You know what? I did see something on that. I didn't know if it was sensationalized or not. So I just wanted to, I never looked into it, but I should have. I saw the Picton pig farm and a relationship to Justin Trudeau somehow. But again, right? I'm not just out there to find bad things about Justin Trudeau. I just really want to know the truth. I'm a Canadian. I want to know whoever's representing me and my country throughout the world is doing a good job representing me, my points of view, and as a Canadian, because he says Canadians a lot. He says democracy a lot. I think democracy is the word he uses the most. However, from what I can see, now someone's going to have to show me otherwise. Everything he does is anti-democracy, though. From what I understand, the word to mean, it means the majority rules, right? He has a minority government, and so he's found a way to make it a majority by forming a coalition with another party who was not voted in, or received very few votes from Canadians. So that's not democracy, when very few people vote for a party, and then you use that party to form a uniparty, a huge party, and then put forward things as if you were a majority. Doesn't sound very democratic. That's not democracy, right? Does he understand what the word democracy actually means? Doesn't sound like it to me, but again, I'm open-minded and I want to see. So Dave says, you may recall that Justin Trudeau got his job when the country voted out conservatives. Okay, well, thank you. Now, I want to know what Justin Trudeau actually did when he was in, though. That was a really great move to represent our country, or to bring our country into a better place than how he found it. So socially, is a country better off? Do we get along better with one another since he took over? Economically, are we in a better position than we were when he took over the country? What other kind of indicators are there whether you're doing a good job as a prime minister, right? Mainly the economy is what I would think, because then everything kind of comes out of that. He's doubling the numbers of soldiers in Latvia, ready to protect our interests in Europe and democracy. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. That's really interesting. I did not know that he was doubling the number of soldiers in Latvia. It was a rigged election. Many people feel that it wasn't a fair election for many reasons, especially the one in the United States, but then it could also leak over here. Actually, the guy that owned the pig farm was a trucker convoy supporter. So do you have sources that back that up at all, Dave? I asked an honest question. I said, what is a policy, or what has he done that makes our country better? And Stephen actually piped up and said he's doubled the soldiers in Latvia. So at least he's come up with something that's better than I could have done, or anyone I've talked to was able to come up with. So I'm grateful for that. He's not a nice person that apparently can't flip pancakes. Okay. Judy says, all I know is every time he opens his mouth, it's nothing but lies. Okay. Also, democracy means government by the citizens, by the people, not necessarily the majority. Exactly. Well, meaning though, government by the people, it's usually the majority rules is democracy. And you would think the majority is going to vote someone in, right? So that's where that comes from. But again, that's a great discussion. What is democracy? I think we need to be thinking about that a little bit more. A lot of people view democracy as one step away from socialism, which is one step away from communism, if you really look at it. A republic is a way that you can keep something the same. If a group of people agree on some foundational principles, that is a republic, and it stays based on principles, not on if the majority all bump their head one day and start thinking things that are irrational. Let's say that just could happen. I don't know. And then they vote in things that principally aren't good for their own good. So a republic kind of prevents or can prevent that from happening. Then there's being ruled by the monarchy, which is another form of government. There's many forms of government. But democracy leads to socialism, which then leads to communism, is usually the way that it kind of unfolds. Because people will, if they're lied to by their politicians offering them free things all the time, look, this is free, look, this is free, look, we're going to give you everything. That's where, that's how politicians get elected, by offering things they can't deliver. And then the people fall for it. And we're always wanting free and wanting things done for us. And we don't realize that really we have to do things ourselves and work hard. And other people aren't going to do it for us. It doesn't usually work out well. Okay, so surprising that it is the Canadian system works. The party that gets the most seats gets to win. Unfortunately, when the Conservatives had a chance to change the system, he didn't. Interesting. So again, Dave, specifically, can you come up with one thing? That's all you got to do. Obviously, you're a supporter. One good thing. It's good to call the other side bad. It's like, what are Canadians? Well, we're not Americans. Well, that's kind of like the road you're going down. Well, we're not Americans doesn't define what a Canadian is. Like, what conservatives are bad doesn't mean Justin Trudeau is good. So can you give me one thing? That's all we're looking for. I think we need to make a reality show. Find one good thing that Justin Trudeau. The best thing we're able to come up with so far from Stephen is that he's doubled the soldiers in Latvia. So that's the reigning high point of Justin Trudeau's 8 years in office right now. It's a fair question. If someone's so good, they should have many, many examples of why they're so good. So that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking why other people are bad. I'm asking what makes Justin Trudeau so good, and it's a fair question. Okay, so Dave needs sources. But Belinda, who says Trudeau is connected to the pig farm? Yeah, no, true. Yeah, we need to look into that too, right? I'm mentioning everyone's comments on the show. Be good to look into that. Anarchy society, correct. We do need laws and government. We do need that. We do need something that keeps us, grounded. When you silence the people, attempt to take their guns and coerce people to take a medical procedure and shun them from society because of the action is it's being an absolute dictator. Okay, so you shared some examples of maybe why he's not so good, right? I find it easier to ask people what has Trudeau done that's negative for Canada than it is to find out what he's done that's good. So I think there's thousands of things that I've been able to come up with, and just talking to people that, and you've mentioned some big ones, but let's find some good things. Come on, he's got to do something good. Doesn't just have good hair. Okay. We just heard China interfered with the elections, correct? So that could be another bad thing, right? He's not having an open discussion, open public inquiry into did China actually interfere in our elections or not. So again, another bad thing. I wouldn't say that's a good thing that he's done. The people of Canada give consent to the government by MPs. Okay, that's not the question I'm asking, guys. You're going back to the last thing we were talking about. What's a democracy and how does Canada work? I want one good thing, and Stephen, you've already come up with it. The best thing you were able to come up with is that he's doubled the soldiers in Latvia. So I just want you to know that. That's the best thing you could come up with, right? That's how hard it is to come up with what this guy's done for Canada. I don't know. Am I crazy? Is it just me? Okay, while people have Trudeau in courts for killing and injuring our forces. Yeah, there's lots going on here. Hey, I got one. This is Miles. Good. Okay. He brought the grocery relief benefit. Yes. There you go. See? We're coming up with good things here. Although that now leads to more inflation. Oh, so there's a downside to that too. Okay. I also heard it was just a GST rebate, and they just called it the grocery rebate kind of thing, just because it's good for, I guess, public perception. Okay. Oh, he brought order to Ottawa. Okay, good. When the pandemic was going through, a minority of people that were insisting that the pandemic was fake. Now, were they insisting the pandemic was fake, or were they protesting the fact they lost their jobs because they didn't take a medical procedure? And they thought that was undemocratic. But, right? So, okay, it's a good thing. He was able to institute a wartime measure act against his own people. So that's a good thing. Okay, we're coming up with some good things here. The human race is still a child and didn't give guns to children. Okay, so these are a little bit of debating, I guess, policies or ideologies there. But again, we're just looking for good things Justin Trudeau has done. Justin Trudeau has kept the Conservatives out of power. Okay, that's the best you can do, Dave. That's the best you can do, and you're a Trudeau supporter. Can you imagine if you were the head of Trudeau's campaign in the next election? Can you imagine? That's the best you can come up with. He's kept the Conservatives out of power. And he wasn't a trucker. I can see the commercial now. Justin Trudeau's kept the Conservatives out of power for 8 years and was able to form a coalition with another unelected party to form a majority and issue many, many bills that most Canadians don't agree with. Vote for Justin Trudeau. Anyways, I don't know. I'm being sarcastic here, but I'm asking a fair question that we just want to know some of the good things that he's done. Okay, Justin Trudeau is awesome because he realized that general Canadian public is nothing but children, and he's not willing to give guns. There you go. So he's trying to keep law-abiding citizens away from guns, while criminals can still be able to get them, not a problem. Hasn't done anything to stop that. So there you go. That's a good thing, I guess. If you're, I don't know what kind of beliefs you'd have to think that's a good thing, but he's able to keep law-abiding citizens from getting guns. And they've historically never committed crimes or anything with them, but he's doing a good job keeping them away. Always a downside with a hidden agenda, LOL. Definitely more cons than pros. Canadian artist. Okay, so Dennis here. Trudeau refused to have open, public, transparent debate with the Freedom Convoy doctors. That's all they wanted. I think that's the way it started. Yeah, you're right. They just wanted to have a conversation, and he refused because it was a small fringe group that were harboring what kind of thoughts or whatever? Unacceptable views. Correct. Unacceptable views. According to dot. Like who decides whether you have an unacceptable view? And who is he the leader of? Canada? And you have Canadians holding unacceptable views according to? If they're a Canadian, then he's their leader and he feels people have unacceptable views. Well, arrest them then. Because they've committed a crime if they have unacceptable views. Or is that a crime to have an unacceptable view? Just freeze their bank accounts if they have an unacceptable view. That's probably a good thing to do. They asked, Trudeau to bring the docs, and they have open public debate. Yeah, exactly. They just wanted an open public debate, and now we want an open public inquiry into whether China is influencing our elections or not. That's, to me, that'd be good. But again, these are bad things. I just want good things. He has kept inflation low compared to other countries after a very challenging pandemic. Thanks, Stephen. That's I guess that's debatable. But it's a debatable thing. It's not a matter of fact thing. Inflation being low, it depends who you talk to. I'm currently taking a master's in business. That's what we talk about all the time. So that's very debatable. That's not a black and white thing. But I guess if we're stretching, that's a good one. We're really straining to find good things, and you did it. So doubled the soldiers in Latvia, keeping our country safe? No, keeping other countries safe. And then he's arguably doing something with inflation. I'm not sure how he's even doing anything with inflation when the Bank of Canada, it's a monetary policy, and he's in charge of fiscal things. He's spending the money, that's for sure. There's no doubt about it. So he's spending lots of money. So I'm not sure how he's even affecting inflation. It's not his thing to do. He doesn't even think, he thinks the budget balances itself when he was asked. How are you going to balance the budget? I don't know. It'll balance itself. You must remember that quote. He brought in Bill C-18. So he has and could protect the media. That's right. He's protecting the media by taking them all off Facebook and taking away their only way to promote themselves. That's a good thing, I guess, if you're his government and you just don't want opposing views to him. So I guess if we're defining good or bad, I guess is it good? Who is it good for? What he's doing? Is it good for us as Canadians? Is it good for the economy? Good for the Canadian spirit? Today's show, I guess, is looking for good things Justin Trudeau's done. I don't know if anyone's really asked that. Really. And I guess it's the kind of thing we have to ask for the next election, right? Like what have you done for me lately? You know? I think what's going on. Okay. Noticed you didn't read the whole comment. Wonder why. It's because my eyes are really bad. and I got off of the reading. If there's long comments, the shorter the comment, the easier. C18 or C11, forget. Yeah. Both of them. The C11 gives the government the power, or the bureaucrats the power to deem what is Canadian or not, and then Bill C-18 is asking big tech companies to pay for the media that they promote. Really, we should be paying them because they're promoting our media. If I put something up on Facebook, like there's a fine line between who should be paying for what, because I'm using their platform basically to promote my stuff. Maybe I should be paying them. So that's arguable. Maybe you need some more bran in your diet, Dave. Well, anyways, okay, you guys are talking to each other. I can't tell if it's just a comment for us or for each other because I'm not able to do that. So Dave's really upset about the convoy still. Miles, now are you going to ask the question, are people better off after Trudeau than before? Yeah, no, I guess that's the question. So is the country in a better place since Justin Trudeau has taken the helm? And can we verify that information by certain indexes? Is the economy better? Are we better off? Are we a happier nation? Are we more Canadian? Are we feeling more united? What are some indexes that we could look at to see how good of a job Justin Trudeau has done over the last 8 years, right? So there's got to be good things. So far he has kept the inflation at bay. It's an arguable thing, but I'll give you that's at least straining at a positive thing. And we've doubled the amount of soldiers in Latvia. So come on, like if someone is doing a really, really good job, like should it be this hard to come up with good things? Like that's just the question I have as a Canadian citizen. Why is it so hard if someone's so good? There's so many people. Look, he got voted in again. So a lot of people like him and like what he's doing. I don't know. Usually you want to know, that's what you want in a leader is what they're going to do. That's why you like them, I guess, as a prime minister, as a ruler over you. You want the ruler who's going to do the best for you, right? And I'm sure all people that were law-abiding citizens that had guns and then went and murdered their spouse, I'm sure. Okay, obviously I know where you're coming from with the whole gun thing. I know it's hard to talk about guns in Canada. I know I lived in the States for 2 years, came back, and I was like, yeah, because I actually heard the concept of maybe why guns are important, not only for hunting, survival, recreation, self-protection as well. So to protect yourself. So if someone's breaking in my house and I know I have a firearm, I feel a lot more secure than if I don't. And so I know in Canada, we're not almost even able to have that conversation because just even the 3-letter word GUN makes people cringe. I understand that. And that's just because of so many years of the socialism, the indoctrination, if you will, about how bad they are. And, just Canadians by and large don't like them. And you got to ask yourself, why? I don't know. But if you really look at the facts, there's very few crimes committed by law-abiding gun owners. It's just it's a fact. It's not an emotional thing. It is a fact. No transparency. Okay. So these are all bad things. There's no transparency. Okay. Compare it to the other countries in Europe. Like which countries in Europe? Because there's several and they're all different. But yes. So is this a good thing Justin Trudeau's done? The Federal Disability Act that Justin Trudeau's helping to make sure gets in. So Garrett, positive thing if he's going to make the Disability Act, right? So there we go. Another good thing. Good of Biden and so good of Biden said, good old Biden said they have no missiles left. LOL. Yeah. Obviously, you're not a fan of Joe Biden. Okay. Money was returned to donors. Okay. That's probably compared to the U.S. and Europe, he handled and helped the provinces handle the pandemic very well. Okay. And again, that's an opinion. I don't think there's an index that can, it's like saying, I think he's, I think he does a good job as an ambassador for Canada traveling around. It's like what? How do you have an index for that? Compared to the US and Europe, he handled the pandemic well. In what way? Like how? How can you measure that? You know? Okay, he stood up for big companies, unlike the other party leaders. So Justin Trudeau stood up to big companies. Oh, sorry, I said four. That was a Freudian slip. So he stood up to big companies. Okay, again, that's arguable. It's not a black and white thing. How is he standing up to big companies? I'd like to know a specific on that one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we want to have a conversation here. I'm just looking for good things that Justin Trudeau has done, and I'm just kind of trying to list them because I'm just doing a little bit of a survey here with everyone. So I'm just going to go through, get everyone's comments up on the screen because obviously there's a lot, but I don't really see many good things. So I'm looking for good things here. And it's hard, very hard. Okay, there's still no good things coming in. We have three or four, and three of them are not able to be measured in any way, shape, or form, and they're arguable. But the doubling of soldiers in Latvia can be it's a mathematical equation. If there was 10 and now there's 20, then that's a good thing, right? So, yeah, that's true. Democracy is not supposed to be rulers. That's what I mean. That's why we're supposed to know what democracy is to see if we indeed have someone who's a democratic leader or not, right? Because is he actually living is he ruling as a democracy, or is he ruling as a dictator? That is a question. It's an open question. If you see what someone's doing and the things they're doing are dictator-like, you just look what they do. That's why a lot of people say, oh, Donald Trump, and they're all emotional about him, right? But I said, what is it that Donald Trump did in terms of policies that you hate? And I always went that way instead of the emotional reaction to him as a person. I said, what things for the United States policy-wise, what policies are you in disagreement with, or what has he done in terms of the economy? So, okay, so we're still looking for good things that Justin Trudeau has done. So we're straining here, guys. Come on. There's been over 20 people at any given moment on this live stream. And we've come up with a few good things. 8 years he's been in office. There must be more good things than what we just came up with. Okay, so we're not coming up with good things. So I guess we're done. And then we're coming up with more emotional things about Donald Trump instead of something he's done. So you name a policy he did that he came up with as president, not something that, so policies he came out with. What did he do for the economy? Did he leave the country in a better place than how he found it? The economy wise, he didn't unite the country. That's for sure. It was very divided. So that's a thing, right? So if you're looking for good or bad things that people have done, you have to look at what they've done, what they voted for, how economy is usually the best way to look at it. 100%. There's indicators. Economy, you can't go wrong. Okay, so there you go. So, well, I guess maybe in a month or so we'll come back to that question again. So think long and hard. Good things that Justin Trudeau has done for the country since he has been in office. We were able to come up with a couple. All right, so some local news here. Fire hazard is low in the Sudbury region, but the fire ban is still in place. So fire hazard is low, but you still can't have a fire. All right. More of that, I'm sure, in the coming years. 51st Caruso Club Italian Festival was like a homecoming. So if you had a chance to get out and enjoy the Caruso Club and the Italian food and all the good things that the Caruso Club was and is and will continue to be, hopefully you got a chance to get out there and do that. City is freezing development charges for 1 year, so that's good news. It should help the economy, right? So if you're a developer, you can now go out and develop over this year. That sparks economy. That sparks business going forward. People are like, okay, at least I got this year. I'm going to get this project going. So that's a good thing, I would say. Arena debate resumes under new version of council. So the Sudbury Arena, we're still wondering whether we're just going to put some paint on it, whether we're going to give it a real overhaul, or we're going to build an events center standalone, or doing it by putting the library, hotel, everything into this huge complex. So there's four main things we're looking at with the Sudbury Arena. And this is an interesting one too. So there's a few bids being put forward, or people throwing their hats in the ring because of the stopping of the Kingsway Entertainment District on the Kingsway. And now wondering what we're doing with the arena. So all these projects, Junction East, the $100 million library that's now been put down to approximately $65 million. That's being thrown around. So people are saying, hey, how about we take existing buildings and we use those for some of these great projects we've been thinking of? Art gallery, library, arena. So now for the library, the Elm Place, I think that's the old Rainbow Center, has thrown their hat in the ring and said, hey, we could be the new library and would cut down a lot of the costs. So you might have heard that this morning on CBC. They just shared it on their Facebook feed. I'll share it immediately following the show. And you have this. The Brewers Loft are proposing to turn that building on Lawrence Street into the new art gallery, which I think could be a good spot for an art gallery. It's got that whole cool effect, lofts. And then they have some pictures too of what they're proposing it look like. Let's put these up on the screen because it looks pretty darn futuristic and what you would want in an art gallery, basically. So it's very white, very clean, high ceilings. Lighting is very bright, contrast between the black and the white. Again, very clean, slick, futuristic looking. So they're proposing this, and I know it's a pretty quick thrown together computer imagery, but I think it's got some potential. The one downside, no parking, but keeping in line with Sudbury in general, we don't usually have parking. So there was an accident on Saturday night in Chelmsford. They had to close down Montpelier for a while. It was a serious crash. I don't have any more information on that crash, unfortunately. Ryan Reynolds, Graham Greene to address Manitoulin Film Festival. So the WIFF, the WIFF Film Festival, Indigenous Film Festival, Chiging, out of Chiging. They got some really cool things going on. You can check out their website. Ryan Reynolds will be speaking as part of that festival. That's always an awesome thing. You don't always get Ryan Reynolds to your film festival. So check that out. And they're doing some pretty cool things from Chiging. Sudbury Pride cancels its annual march. Bit of controversy going on here. And speaking of controversy, I guess that question really sparked a lot of people not able to come up. So the question of the day earlier was, can you think of one thing that Justin Trudeau has done good for the country of Canada? One thing. And we've had a hard time coming up with that. So after the show is live, there'll be more people viewing it. Make sure to, in the comments, put what your one good thing you feel, honestly, Justin Trudeau has done for the country. Because we're trying to basically take a survey of Canadians, the very people he's ruling over, to, basically say, yeah, this is what Justin Trudeau has done good. My life has improved by ... because of Justin Trudeau. And not what he's done, not what other people have done wrong and, whatever. I want to know just the one thing that he has done that's good. It's a simple question, and we should be able to answer it if indeed he's doing a good job. It's like, say one good thing about your dad. Just one good thing. And ask yourself, is it harder to come up with what good thing Justin Trudeau's done? Or what one good thing my dad's done? One good thing, one good thing. Maybe I'll make a website, onegoodthing.ca, and then people will be able to chime in, and maybe it'll take a lot longer, but the more people we survey, we'll be able to gather a longer list than 3 or 4 things, and 3 of them are very questionable. So Sudbury Pride cancels annual march. Now, I thought Pride Month was in June. I'm seeing a lot of Pride Week things and stuff, and so I'm wondering, okay, I thought we celebrated the whole month of June, but I guess there's more things going on, and so there was a march planned. Now it's canceled, so I don't know much about it, but CTV definitely did, and they did a story on it, so let's check in with them. Grateful for their reporting, and let's see why it was indeed canceled.
Change in the schedule for Pride local celebrations after the main march has been canceled. Officials releasing a statement on Facebook overnight indicating the event has been axed. The statement read in part after careful consideration and in solidarity with our friends at Black Lives Matter Sudbury. We have made the decision to cancel the Pride March at 1 p.m. on Saturday, July 15th. On June 30th, Black Lives Matter issued a statement saying in part, Pride is a protest. Let us not forget that without the long-standing community organizing, work largely done by Black, Brown, 2S LGBTQ+ activists, we would not be here today. This is in relation to police being part of the march. Sudbury Pride organizers say Pride in the Park will still take place on July 15th at Memorial Park as planned. We reached out to organizers for comment. They were unavailable.
Well, that's interesting. You would think they would want to elaborate on that, but that's fine. What I know from that story is that Black Lives Matter had an issue with the fact that police were supporting the Pride March, and so they are going to cancel it. So that's what I'm getting from it. If you get something else from it, feel free in the comments to let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. And another festival that went forth this weekend was the Northern Lights Festival Boreal. And what a great time out that was. I hope you had a chance to get out and enjoy some of the bands, the food, the fun, socialization with people in this great city of ours. Apparently Sloan played on Saturday night, one of my favorite Canadian bands. Money City Maniacs, is that the name of their song? One of my favorite songs in general, not only by Canadians. But didn't get a chance to get out and see them because I'm old and I got really tired, and they were playing at 10:30 at night. So I do have a little bit on that. So this is Sudbury.com. Their stories of the day. Canada's longest running outdoor music festival, Northern Lights Festival Boreal, made Bell Park the place to be this past weekend. Once again, organizers curated a unique blend of musical styles for the festival. It's the 51st edition, so a lot of things are 51 years old. Not only just me, but seems like so. You had the Italian Festival, Caruso Club, that was 51. Northern Lights Festival Borealis 51. I think the Wolves are in that category as well. Anyways, so it's 51st edition from celebrated Montreal singer-songwriter Martha Rainwhite, which I also wanted to see, to Japanese psych rock innovators Tiki Tiki, I think it's pronounced. All kinds of really great artists. It was first held in the park 1972 as a free one-day music festival. It remains Canada's longest continually running outdoor music festival, holding its 50th anniversary festival last year and taking place in the picturesque shores of Ramsey Lake in Bell Park in the heart of Sudbury. Over the years, NLFB has grown into a seasoned presenter of Canadian roots and modern music and lightning rod for the energy of Northern Ontario's artistic community, the festival website states. So there you have it. Northern Lights Festival Boreal, another season under their belt. Okay, so a few deep dives here at the end. If you guys want to check it out, all kinds of things. But here in Espanola, a truck. This is a local store here. It's basically like a dollar store. A little bit of everything on Friday night, according to Moose FM, or Saturday afternoon, sorry. A little bit of everything had an unexpected visitor Saturday afternoon. A truck took out the middle section of the store, and they will have more on the story if you check in 99.3 FM. I guess a lot of people in Greater Sudbury won't be able to get that all the way over there. But when I find out, I'll find out about this today, and we'll have basically on the show tomorrow what happened there. That's interesting. Okay, we do have some more comments coming in. We're just sharing them on the screen. I apologize to those on the radio just because of the amount of them. I was just hoping we can rhyme off a bunch of great things that the Prime Minister has done for us in the country, but it's been hard pickings, slim pickings, to say the least. Surprising. I thought we would have a few like low-hanging fruit from Justin Trudeau's supporters at least, but it's been pretty hard. Yeah, the arena was also built in 1972. A lot of things. 1971, 72, happening, changing not only in our community, but in the country and in the world. A lot of significant things in and around the beginning of the 70s. You find setting the tone for our society. We continue to have the things today that started then. So thanks everyone for being on the show today. I really do want you to leave in the comments some things that Justin Trudeau you feel have done to help our country. It's an honest, sincere question that I myself am asking those around me, even hard, staunch. Oh, it was 1951. Yeah, that's right. It was built in 1951. But the Wolves were 1971 or 72, I think, when they came into the OHL. So again, right? So I just really I've had a hard time talking to staunch liberals, finding out good things that Justin Trudeau has done since he's been in office, because they're going to vote for him again, and you would hope to heaven that they're voting for him because of the great job he's doing, not just because they were born a liberal or whatever, right? We need to start knowing more about our country, what kind of things are happening, and taking control of it. And it is your country, and if you don't understand it and know what it's supposed to be, or what good things that we could have or continue to have that we already have that are being taken away, or that we should, stand for changing to make it even better. These are the types of things that will make your country, for you and your children, a better place, and not doing it in a disrespectful way, just doing it in an educated way and a very civil, peaceful way. That's the way to go. So I appreciate all of your comments, guys. Thanks for listening and watching today. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you. We'll be back God willing, same time, same place next week. And so, we're all trying to be unbiased by giving you the opportunity to speak for yourself and share things that you feel, to stand up for things that you feel and show them and kind of give sources and educate others as to what you know to be true. And as we have the conversation more robust, that to me is possibly the definition of unbiased, is having a conversation and trying to know another side's point of view and get to know that, and not doing it in a vain, unrespectful way. It's in a true way. Even though you can tell I do have my own points of view, and I cherish the fact that I'm a self-thinking human being who has points of view and then is interested in other people's points of view. And if you have something that's of substance, I will then adopt that into my own point of view. If it's for the betterment of myself, my family, my country, my friends, I will adopt that like there's no tomorrow. So again, the question is, what good has Justin Trudeau done for the country since being in for 8 years? We'll be back, same time, same place. Stay tuned for Earshot Daily right now on CKLU. Ciao, everyone. Have a great one.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.